John Jack Horner is an accomplished paleontologist, noted for several groundbreaking discoveries, who famously contributed his expertise to the Jurassic Park franchise. Despite these impressive exploits, Horner found his journey to success impeded early on by a challenge as imposing as a T-Rex, undiagnosed dyslexia. Even as he struggled, nature took its course for Horner, who had a love of exploring the outdoors, science, and most notably, discovering dinosaurs.
As a young kid, I was always outside, looking for stuff, exploring. Born and raised in Shelby, Montana. When it came to school, I didn't like going to school. I would do, the most I could, and then all the time I'd just be daydreaming about being outside. And at least by 6 years old, I was fascinated by fossils. And so fascinated by fossils and the idea of dinosaurs that my father, when I was 8 years old, my father took me to a place where I could find a dinosaur, and I found my first dinosaur bone. My mother, she didn't know what was wrong with me. She knew there was something wrong, even though she didn't understand why I was failing all my classes. She'd still drive me out to my dinosaur sites. And when I was in high school, flunking virtually every subject, I would make science projects. And science projects I could work on at my own speed, do my own research, take time. My sophomore, junior, and senior years in high school, I won the local science fair.
Horner's love and passion for the sciences granted him a very unique opportunity. An opportunity that unfortunately slipped through his fingertips more than a few times.
The judges, who were professors at a university, invited me to come to the University of Montana to study geology. I flunked out of college 7 different times. And when I left, I knew how to curate fossils. I had studied paleontology. I applied for a bunch of jobs, and I got a job at Princeton University as a technician.
While adjusting to his new life at Princeton, Horner was still unaware of his learning difference, but being on that campus eventually would lead to a new perspective on himself and how he truly saw the world.
And I was walking around the campus, and there was this big sign. It was like a bulletin board sign, and it was meant for the students. And it said, would you rather go to a movie than read a book? And would you rather make a phone call than write a letter? And it says, if you answer yes to these questions, come see us at such and such an office on campus. And they did a little test and declared that I was severely dyslexic. Dyslexia can be so many different things. And my learning difference is that I just don't have a short-term memory. People can give me a 4-digit number and I can't remember it. So when people say, dyslexics mix up their I's and their E's, well, it's because somebody tells you which one should be first and you can't remember. So here's a bone, right? So this is a human thigh bone. If you show this to a person, most people could memorize and know, that this is a human femur. I understand this spatially completely, and that's how I look at the world. I'm very detail oriented. If you gave me just a tiny piece of this, I would know it was a piece of a human femur.
As a visual learner, one could say Horner possessed the perfect skill for paleontology. His work eventually led him back to Montana, where he made the discovery of his life.
I always chose my research projects based on things that no one else had really ever done. No one had found baby dinosaurs before, so I could do research on baby dinosaurs and didn't have to read very much. Baby dinosaurs hadn't been found in North America. They hadn't been found in the Western Hemisphere. My question was, where are the babies? How come there aren't any baby dinosaurs? We ran into a friend, and he said, by the way, there's this woman over in this town of Bynum that has a rock shop, and she has found a dinosaur, and she wants it identified. And so we went there, and we were in her rock shop, and she showed us the dinosaur skeleton that she had found, and it was a big one. I identified it for her, and as we were leaving her rock shop, she said, "Oh, by the way, what are these?" And she held out her hand, and in her hand were 3 baby dinosaur bones. 3 baby dinosaur bones, and I just almost fell over. We went back, went out there, and there was this little hill that was covered with baby dinosaur bones. And so Bob and I got permission from the landowner. We started digging, and literally what we were digging was a dinosaur nest with baby dinosaurs in it. And of course, it was the first baby dinosaur nest found in the world.
Horner's work would capture the attention of many, including important figures in the entertainment industry.
I wrote a book in 1988 called Digging Dinosaurs. A year later, Michael Crichton picked that book up, and he read that book, and he creates this character, Alan Grant, based on the guy that finds dinosaurs in Montana. When Steven Spielberg called me and asked me to be the technical advisor, he said, "What I want you to do is work with our modeling people and make sure the dinosaurs are as accurate as we can make them scientifically. Make sure the actors are pronouncing their dinosaur names correctly, and go through the script, make sure that it's doesn't have any glaring mistakes."
For those living with dyslexia, Horner offers advice that may seem rather unconventional, but prove critical to his success.
You don't even want to be fixed, because when you get out into the real world, our spatial way of thinking gets us great jobs, and we excel at a lot of things. Just bear with it, just deal with it, but follow your passion. I mean, just believe in yourself. You don't want to fix a dyslexic. Realize that they think different, they learn differently, they're never going to be like everybody else, and that is the best thing ever.
For a world of difference, I'm Bassey Arikpo.